Norman Fulton.
Correct.
And how long have you been doing Jiu Jitsu?
5 years.
5 years? Okay. And have you had a chance to compete in anything? Or?
Yeah, I've competed all the way since 2006.
Okay.
Except for last year. Last year I was hurt, so I couldn't compete last year.
Okay.
Caught a blood clot in the leg, so I couldn't compete last year.
Okay.
But I'm going to compete next weekend, and I'm going to compete in the Pan Ams and the Worlds this year. So.
Well, where are you competing next weekend?
University of Denver. I gave them a card. Fight to win tournament.
Oh, fight to win.
Okay.
Awesome. I might have to follow you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What's your best memory that you have here of training? Is this where you learn to?
Oh yeah,
Jiu-Jitsu?
yeah.
Okay.
I think the best memory you get out of all of Jiu-Jitsu is all the friends you make. You know, I mean, you train with people and then they become your friends. You know? And then when you go around the tournaments, you meet a lot of people, you compete against them, but then when you see them outside of the tournaments also, you're like, hey, how's it going, you know? You might not remember their name sometimes, but you remember their face, and then you can reintroduce yourself, but you still have like a friendship that kind of follows you around. Same thing when you go out to the Pan Ams. People out there, they see you come year after year, they see you, pretty soon people are like, hey, how's it going? They see you coming by. Right. So it's easy, hey, you know, stop, let's go get something to eat.
Well, why did you start studying Jiu-Jitsu?
I actually wanted to get my kids into it. I was at a gym. I used to be a big weightlifter. So Hussein, which is actually Curtis's student, was actually had at the World's Gym here, or the ex-World's Gym. He had a class going. I was like, oh, that looks cool. So then I started doing it, and then I got my sons to start doing it. So now I can roll with my sons all the time. Of course, they kick my ass. If I can say that. But, you know, I've gotten really good, both of them. So it's really hard. I can't do anything with them anymore. Plus, they're younger than me. You know, you get 30 years on me. All of them are 30 years old.
How did Jiu-Jitsu impact your life, like on the inside? What else did it teach you besides techniques and the different methodologies?
What it taught me for sure is you just don't go around looking for trouble. You never know who has skill. You can run into some people that are like, you would not believe how good they are. And they'll hurt you real bad, break your arm, send you to the hospital quick. You know, so it actually teaches you that you got to be careful. That there are people out there that you go, oh, I could probably beat that guy up, and you're like, no. I was like, when I first started, I weighed 205. I was doing a 365 bench. I was a big weight lifter, and this little 16-year-old just beat me up. I mean, beat me up, armbarred me, choked me. So that's kind of another thing that got me going in it, because I wanted revenge on him, which I got one time.
Did you?
Yeah, he came back after I was a purple belt. He came back, and I didn't cut him any mercy. I imposed my will on him on that.
So what's one of the funniest things you've seen happen here?
The funniest thing? Well, I didn't consider it funny, but when I first started, when the very first time I ever met Curtis, we were in a dojo smaller than this one, a lot smaller than this, about the size of the black mats actually. That was it, the mats out there, the inside ones. But the very first time I met him, it was in the summertime and it was hot, and he swept me, he mounted me, then he opened up his gi like this, and he smothered me. Now, I mean smothered me. This is when I was big, and I had fought to get him off. I couldn't get him off. I thought I was going to die. But for like 3-4 months after that, I did not like anybody on top of me. I didn't care for anybody at all on top of me.
Okay.
And the other thing that's kind of funny too is sometimes we have like girl students, and sometimes the guys, even in the kids class, sometimes the kids come in like, oh, I can beat this girl up, and it just doesn't happen. The girl just dominates it, you know. Because Jiu-Jitsu really is for the little guy, the guy that, you know, it's for technique, because technique beats strength every single time. I don't care how big you are, technique beats strength.
There's an old Rickson Gracie, for example, used to teach that technique overcomes strength and leverage overcomes technique.
Exactly. I wholeheartedly endorse that. The other thing I endorse too, like with Curtis, is always be choking, because I don't care how big you are. If you get a choke set in, you're going to go to sleep. That's it.
Yeah.
You might not be able to break their arm with an arm bar or destroy their knee, but you can definitely choke them out. So.
Is there anyone that you'd like to thank, or any
sure, I
teachers out there that
Curtis and Hussein and Megaton and all them, Hoyler, I mean, when he was up here, but Meg and Curtis mostly. I mean, Curtis for sure, because I roll with Curtis all the time. And then all the guys in there, and all the girls who ever done me wrong in my life, I want to thank them for giving me a motive to do something.
Right on. Okay.
Vote Republican if you can.
Do you have any advice for like beginning students?
Sure. When you come in, you might as well leave your ego. You might as well just forget about it. I see it in here too. Like, even though I'm a purple belt, I roll out. There's a guy from El Paso out there, that blue belt. He's been blue belt for a while. He probably should be purple, but he catches me. I'm not like, oh, well, I don't want to go with him because he's going to catch me. That's the thing. It's like, good job, buddy. I know I made a mistake. And so you got to kind of leave your ego. Even then, when you get your blue belt, people are going to be coming after you. Jiu-Jitsu is one sport where I think people don't want to get a belt. Like, I don't want to be a brown belt, because I get a brown belt, then I got to beat up everybody, and people are always after me. So, I mean, you're like, just get up your, just be glad that they caught you. You get better when they catch you. And just tell them good job, because the kid's coming up. So that's all I can say, really, to new people, is you got to realize that you're going to get choked for sure. You're going to get armbarred. You're going to get beat up. People you didn't think could beat you up is going to beat you up.
Okay, well, besides jiu-jitsu, what's most important to you in life? And your family, of course.
Well, I don't know. We can get political. Can we get political?
You can be yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see the Democratic Party defeated. Because I speak for the smallest minority on earth. I speak for the individual. We're being taxed to death here, bro. So, I'm a pretty big political person.
That's okay.
I'm really into politics. I follow it a lot. So, I just don't want to see you guys. I'm going to be living as, I think it was Dennis Miller said it, or somebody said, but I'm going to be living La Vida Loco. All of you guys, if you're not careful, you're going to be living La Vida Broco. For sure, you're going to be broke. The dollar's not going to be worth a damn.
Well, I'm already living that life.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, or anything like that? You talk about
No,
anything
come
else?
on down. Anybody, you're welcome. If you see this, you're welcome to come on down. We're open Monday through Friday at 5:30 at night's kids class. Bring your kids if you want. And then on Sundays, an open mat. You never know. I mean, we got a world-class wrestler in here. I mean, an Olympic wrestler thing. Curtis is really good. You never know who might drop in. You just never know.
Okay.
We've had some like MMA guys. Some days they do MMA when some of the MMA guys from around town show up. I don't do that. And I don't recommend kickboxing unless you like having your legs chopped out from underneath you and you have to front roll off the toilet to get up in the morning. So that's all I got to say about kickboxing.
Okay.
All right, stick to jiu-jitsu. I'm going to send you a good-looking girl to talk to. Beats me. All right?